What's going on, guys? Bird here, back with Codecademy's Learn JavaScript program, and we're starting a new chapter here on the syllabus. We finished the introduction, so now we're moving on here, and it looks like this is going to be conditional statements. What are conditional statements? In life, we make decisions based on circumstances. Think of an everyday decision as mundane as falling asleep. If we are tired, we go to bed. Otherwise, we wake up and start our day. These if-else decisions can be modeled in code by creating conditional statements. A conditional statement checks a specific condition and performs a task based on the conditions. In this lesson, we will explore how programs make decisions by evaluating conditions and introduce logic into our code. We'll be covering the following concepts: if, else if, and else statements, comparison operators, logical operators, truthy versus falsy values, ternary operators, switch statement. So if you're ready to learn these concepts, go to the next lesson. Else, read over the concepts, observe the diagram, and prepare yourself for this lesson. Okay, if sleepy, sleep in. Else, start your day. Seems pretty straightforward, but I know that I'm going to be confused here, so let's go ahead and move on. All right. If statement. We often perform a task based on a condition. For example, if the weather is nice today, then we will go outside. If the alarm clock rings, then we'll shut it off. If we're tired, then we'll go to sleep. In programming, if we can also perform a task based on a condition using an if statement. So if true, this message will print. Notice in the example above, we have an if statement. The if statement is composed of the if keyword followed by a set of parentheses, which is followed by a code block or block statement indicated by a set of curly braces. Inside the parentheses, a condition is provided that evaluates to true or false. If the condition evaluates to true, the code inside the curly braces runs or executes. If the condition evaluates to false, the block won't execute. Let's make an if statement. All right. Using the let keyword, declare a variable named sale. So let sale equal true. All right. True is not a string, and therefore it does not need quotes around it. Got it. So a string needs quotes. Numbers do not. Or true, false. And I'm sure there's others. But we've done that, so let's run it. Alright, now create an if statement. Provide the if statement a condition of sale. Inside the code block of the if statement, console.log the string time to buy. So if provide the if statement a condition of sale. If true, console.log time to buy. Now, I don't think this is right. Yeah. Did you create an if statement with a condition of sale under the sale variable? So like this shows if true, let sale equal true. If true, so let's get a hint here. If condition goes here, okay, so not true. If sale is true, time to buy. Okay, that's right. So the condition goes inside the parentheses. Notice that the code inside the if statement ran since time to buy was logged to the console. Below the sale variable declaration, but before the if statement, reassign sale to false. below the sale variable declaration. So just change this to false. Run your code and observe what happens. Nothing. And that's right. Alright. Alright, that's the end of this exercise. So let's move on to the next one. If-else statements. In the previous exercise, we used an if statement that checked a condition to decide whether or not to run a block of code. In many cases, we'll have code we want to run if our condition evaluates to false. If we wanted to add some default behavior to the if statement, we can add an else statement to run a block of code when the condition evaluates to false. Take a look at the inclusion of an else statement. So if false, console.log, else, this. An else statement must be paired with an if statement, and together they are referred to as an if-else statement. In the example above, the else statement uses the else keyword following the code block of an if statement. Has a code block that is wrapped by a set of curly braces. The code inside the else statement code block will execute when the if statement's condition evaluates to false. If-else statements allow us to automate solutions to yes or no questions, also known as binary decisions. Add an else statement to the existing if statement. Inside the code block of the else statement, console.log the string time to wait for a sale. So it looks like we do this and leave that, and then we add else, another curly braces, console.log, and then we say time to wait for a sale. Okay. So right now, it's not on sale. So time to wait for a sale. That makes sense. Alright. Alright, we didn't get stuck. We didn't need help. Awesome. So let's go to the next one. Comparison operators. When writing conditional statements, sometimes we need to use different types of operators to compare values. These operators are called comparison operators. Here's a list of some handy comparison operators and their syntax. Less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, is equal to, is not equal to. Comparison operators compare the value on the left with the value on the right. For instance, 10 is less than 12, evaluates to true. It can be helpful to think of comparison statements as questions. When the answer is yes, the statement evaluates to true, and when the answer is no, the statement evaluates to false. The code above would be asking, is 10 less than 12? Yes. So 10 less than 12 evaluates to true. We can also use comparison operators on different data types like strings. Apples is equal to oranges would be false. In the above example, we're using the identity operator to check if the string apples is the same as the string oranges. Since the two strings are not the same, the comparison statement evaluates to false. All comparison statements evaluate to either true or false and are made up of two values that will be compared. An operator that separates the values and compares them accordingly. Let's practice using these comparison operators. Using let, create a variable named hunger level. Let hunger level equal 7. And let's run it. Alright, write an if-else statement using a comparison operator. Okay, so, oh no, what did I do? I don't want that to be there. Close. Alright. If hunger level is greater than 7. I don't think that's how I'm supposed to do that. If so, the condition statement should log if hunger level curly braces this isn't right. Console.log time to eat. And then this should be else curly braces console.log we can eat later. And something's not right here. So let's get a hint. The syntax for if else. If condition else. Maybe I am right. Let's see. Heck yeah. We can eat later. Alright. This had me feeling like I was doing it wrong, but I actually got it right. So that's exciting. Let's move on to the next one. Logical operators. Working with conditionals means that we will be using booleans, true or false values. In JavaScript, there are operators that work with boolean values known as logical operators. We can use logical operators to add more sophisticated logic to our conditionals. There are 3 logical operators: the AND operator, or the OR operator, the NOT operator, otherwise known as the BANG operator. When we use the AND operator, we are checking that 2 things are true. 2 things are true. If the stoplight's green and there's no pedestrians, go. Else, stop. Okay, that makes sense. When using the AND operator, both conditions must evaluate to true for the entire condition to evaluate to true and execute. Otherwise, if either condition is false, the AND condition will evaluate to false and the else condition will block it. The else block will execute. If we only care about either condition being true, we can use the, what do they call it? The OR operator. When using the OR operator, only one of the conditions must evaluate to true for the overall statement to evaluate to true. In the code example above, if either day is Saturday or Sunday, evaluates to true. The ifs condition will evaluate to true, and its code block will execute. If the first condition in an OR statement evaluates to true, the second condition won't even be checked. Only if day equals Saturday evaluates to false will the day Sunday be evaluated. The code in the else statement above will execute only if both comparisons evaluate it to false. The NOT operator reverses or negates the value of a boolean. Essentially, the NOT operator will either take a true value and pass back false, or it will take a false value and pass back true. Logical operators are often used in conditional statements to add another layer of logic to our code. Alright, in main.js there are 2 variables, mood and tiredness level. Let's create an if-else statement that checks if mood is sleepy and tiredness level is greater than 8. Alright, so let's create an if-else statement. If mood let's create an if-else statement that checks if mood is equal to sleepy. Let mood equal sleepy. So we're check if mood equals sleepy. Console.log time to sleep. Else, wait a minute, we're creating an if else, yeah, wait a second, let's create an if else statement that checks if mood is sleepy and tiredness level is greater than 8. Let's go back up and take a peek here. So if mood is sleepy, what's the AND operator? So this needs to be sleepy and tiredness level is what? Greater than 8. if mood sleepy and tiredness level is greater than 8, then it's time to sleep. Else, print not bedtime yet. After you press run, play around with the operator and the and operator and the not operator. What happens if you negate the value of the entire statement with not and switch to and instead of and? Your condition, did you check if mood, oh, we're going to do 2 equals there, and tiredness level greater than 8. Okay, so that's right. I forgot to put the 3 equal signs. So let's see here. What if we change this to 9? Time to sleep. What if we change this to 4? Not bedtime yet. We're still sleepy. Well, our mood's sleepy. Our tiredness level's not sleepy. But both of these things have to be true. Alright guys, we completed lesson 1 through 5. I'm going to go ahead and end the episode here. But I want to thank you guys for hanging out, and I will see you guys on the next one. Thanks for hanging out. Bye!